Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to quickly check with you if you can hear me loud and clear. Hi, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Just want to quickly check with you if you can hear me loud and clear. Okay, if you can hear me loud and clear, give me a 1. Okay, type a 1 in the chat panel. And then I shall get started soon. Tonight we're going to talk about a topic that everybody is interested and probably keeping you guys busy for the long weekend, right? Is a showdown between OpenClaw, Claude Code, Claude Cowork, and also N8N. Yeah. Okay, if you can hear me loud and clear and you can see my screen, just give me some response in the chat panel. Just 1. A showdown between OpenClaw. Okay, so a bit of background. What is OpenClaw? In the past few days, you might have seen a lot of your friends posted something about a lobster. It was started off as an app, okay, called CloudBot. Probably not just app per se, right? It's like an open source project, and the founder or the maker of the app just basically vibe coded an app, and then I think 2 days later it received a warning from Claude, Claude, the one from Anthropic, and say that, hey, you know what, your name, your little lobster name sounds very similar to ours, and people might get confused. So you have to change your name. So they changed their name to another name called Mod. Okay, very hard to read. Okay, especially for me. And then 2 days later, they changed again. They changed the project name. Is now currently is called OpenClaw. Now, if you don't know what is OpenClaw, I'll just give you a bit of background. Basically, is a tiny little AI agent that connects to your different messaging apps, or in their words, different messaging channels, so you can connect to things like Slack, WhatsApp, Telegram, and also the famous messaging applications. And then through there, you can basically ask it to do different things for you. Depends on what are the skills that you enable, or what are the services that we have connected. Okay, in short. All right. So, without further ado, I'm going to give you some quick introduction about how to set it up, and then and how to move around and then use it. Okay. Now, there are many different kind of tutorials out there to teach you how to set up. But most of them, they teach you how to set up from a terminal prompt. So if you're not familiar with a terminal prompt, basically it's a black color screen that makes you look like a hacker, just like this. Okay, so when you type terminal, and then you show up as a screen like this. So if you use this at home, you're fine. But if you use this in your company, people might think that, hey, what is this guy doing? Is it trying to hack our a database, or anything, right? You try to use this in Starbucks, people who walk past you, they will be thinking that you're a hacker trying to hack the Wi-Fi, right? And for beginners, absolutely beginners who have no technical background, it's kind of difficult to install. So if you want to go to OpenClaw, the best way to do it is go to their official website. Okay, so you say OpenClaw, your personal assistant, the AI that actually does things. And then here's the quick start installation. In one of my LinkedIn posts, also I talk about Mac Mini. So a lot of people, they bought a new Mac Mini just because of Claude. And rumor says that because of CloudBot, because of OpenClaw, Mac Mini actually sold out. But I'm not sure about other countries. Quite a few of my friends actually went to TRX in KL, and they managed to get Mac Mini still. All right. So yeah, I don't know, but definitely this is one of the products. I mean Apple being Apple, right, they should be well prepared. The only thing I have heard about sold out is iPhone 17 Pro or Pro Max, orange color, 256 GB. If for a particular version, a particular size or storage, there's always stock there, right? Okay. So if you're using a Mac, right, things are pretty easy. You just go to the Mac OS tab, download the Mac OS, and you'll get a DMG file. All right, if you scroll all the way to the bottom, there's actually a DMG file which you can just download and use it. And things are going at light speed, all right, because the last updated was an hour ago. I did a Chinese version of the same live 5 o'clock today, right? I did one at 5 o'clock and there was still not the latest, and then an hour ago they just updated it live here, right in front of you. Okay, so you know how fast things are moving. Okay, if you're familiar with Node.js, you can use npm, or you can just copy paste this line, and it works everywhere. Basically, Ubuntu, Windows, wherever, as long as you have curl command, right? And you can also change, like if you use Windows, you use PowerShell and CMD, and all your commands is here. But the prerequisite is you have to be familiar with command line or terminal. Now, if you are not, right, you can use my referral link here. Okay, I don't make money from there, but I just want to share the referral code with you so that you can get further discount. It's on Hostinger or Hostinger. Let me share in the chat. Okay. Yeah, so if you go to Hostinger and then you sign up for a plan, all right, you look for a VPS plan. So if you are not familiar with VPS, is this one. What is VPS? All right, virtual private server. Basically, you are renting a small instance of a computer on the cloud. Basically, a server, right, from far away. Okay, so which is the one that you should use? You shouldn't be looking at web hosting. You don't get the wrong one. Just look at, hey, very cheap, right? $299. Don't get the wrong one. You must go for VPS hosting and look for the one that's called KVM2. Because if it's lower than that, it might not be able to run OpenClaw or run OpenClaw successfully. All right. This is for those who are slightly advanced and who knows what is VPS. You're comfortable with cloud solutions. If not, okay, you just search for Hostinger and then OpenClaw. It will bring you to this particular OpenClaw VPS hosting, which will cost $27.99 per month ringgit. So if you convert it, it's about the same. And I'll give you the URL here as well. So you have to remember to get this from here, and then when you deploy, right, you put in my referral code to get further discount. Okay, all right. And then after you deploy, because I already deployed this afternoon, so it will bring you to a screen that shows you, your VPS and also your cloud here. Now there's a setting here. I took a screenshot on my Notion. Right? When you first set up, when you first install it, it will show you three things. One is your OpenClaw gateway token. The other one is Anthropic API key and OpenAI API key that you have to put. Okay. All right. So, and then once you go to VPS and you select your cloud instance, and then you choose manage, you show you something like this. Okay. You look for this thing called the Docker Manager. All right, you look for this thing called the Docker Manager, and it will have a tab here. All right, not really a tab, a panel here, and shows you that OpenClaw, LGIP, blah blah blah, and there's a port number. This is very important because some people, they get different port number and they don't know what to do with it. You have to follow the port number in order to launch your gateway dashboard. If you do not put in the port number, right, and you're just like this, spinning forever, okay, and you don't know what went wrong. So this is number one thing that you have to remember. And then number two is you go to the overview tab on your left-hand side. Okay? This is where you are required to put in your gateway token. This is in a way a security measure. So you have to put in your gateway token that you get from Hostinger while you install. Okay, once you put in this token correctly, it will show you a snapshot here is connected. Then it will tell you last channel refresh 30 seconds ago, use channels to link WhatsApp, Telegram, Discord, Signal, or iMessage. All right, you should be able to follow up to this stage. If you have any question, just type in the chat section, okay? Just type in the chat section and you should be able to see me clearer this way. Hey, okay? All right, so that is number one, step one. Once you have done this and it shows you connected, okay, congratulations, you have done the first part of the setup. Now, in order to use all these AI agents, you need to link it with some APIs, okay, from the AI. And to link it with APIs, you need something called API key. API is application programming interface. You don't have to know the exact details. Basically, it's just interface for you to connect with other services. So if you want to link two services together, you have to use this. And the key to unlock the services are called the API key. All right, a very straightforward concept lah, in a way. And it also tells you that where you can get the key, you need to go to console.anthropic.com to get Anthropic API key. Now, if you're not familiar with Anthropic, it's basically the parent company of Claude, which is one of the best coding model in the market right now. A lot of professional programmers, professional coders use Claude. Okay, and I will show you more about Claude Code and Claude Cowork in a short while. All right, so, and then we just need to head over to console.anthropic.com. And look for this part on your left called the API keys. All right, just click the API keys. And I have created an API key for my hostinger here. If you want, you can create one for yourself. Type in the name here, and then you will prompt you to copy, and then you paste it inside here, okay, your Anthropic API key. And you need to do the same for OpenAI, which is you go to platform.openai.com/API keys, create new secret key, give it a name, copy paste, and done. Okay. Right. But one thing that I would like to remind you is, this is very important, and that's what this live is about, telling you all the BTS, all the secrets, unlike YouTube videos, because there's no interaction, and a lot of people just say, oh, very good, just use CloudBot, right? But there's something that you need to pay attention, need to watch out for. They drain tokens pretty quickly, okay? Let me tell you what I mean. This afternoon, when I was doing my experiment, I'm not really doing my experiment, it's just I do it another time using Hostinger, right? Before this, for the past few days, I was running it on my Mac Mini. And this is where I started. Okay. After I use it for less than 5-10 minutes, it straight away shows me that it hit the rate limit error. I don't know what it sends to the server. Seriously, I didn't go and figure out, or I didn't really go dive into reading it, but it says that it hits the rate limit of 30,000 input tokens per minute. It's input tokens, so it's not going to cost you a bomb. But yeah, within 5-10 minutes, I spent like $5 on Anthropic, okay, $4 plus. So you need to be careful. Yeah, so of course, you can use other models as well, like for example, Alibaba Qianwen, or they call it Quan or Kimi. Okay, I'll explain to you more later on how to change, etc. All right, so after you have set it out, all the language models all correctly, all the API keys already, and next thing what you need to do is to link it with your favorite chat tools, okay? Or you can start to come to the chat panel here and start to talk to your Claude, okay? And that's where you configure the name, configure your name, and I call it small prawn, okay? For those of you who know Chinese, yeah, Sai Ha. Okay, and then after that, what you need to do is you need to set up a Telegram bot. So that's what I say, right? For those of you who are total beginner, this will be a fun process for you to get to know what are the technical lities, or what are the technical skills that you need to develop, and you will pick up these skills along the way. So if you just install CloudBot, OpenClaw 2-3 times, you kind of like, you pick up the skills. But this is not the best solutions for enterprises. Okay, you'll know why in a short while. But number one is it exposes a lot of services, and you don't really have controls over all the things that they are using. But it's a very fun project to use as a personal assistant. Absolutely fine, but not suitable for enterprise use. Okay, and then you need to search for this thing called Bot Father. It's an application for us to create Telegram bots. And once you launch Bot Father, okay, I've done a lot already. So I'm not going to do that again. I'm just going to delete the old one. Okay, all right. Just open it up, and then you can say Dr. Lau PA bot. Okay, sorry. Click create a new bot, and then give it a name. Dr. Lau PA bot, Dr. Lau PA bot, and it checks the name, make sure everything is correct, and then you create a bot. After that, again, it's all about copy paste. There's another key here, it's hidden. So you can click to show it, or you click copy, and the bot token will be copied to your clipboard. And then go back to your OpenClaw panel, and then you can do something like, hey, help me to connect to my Telegram bot. Here is the key. All right, and then on Telegram side, if I go back to my bot, and then you will give you OpenClaw access, and this one, ask the bot owner to approve with this. So you need to do OpenClaw pairing approve Telegram, and then you put in this code. Basically, there's this process. And once you have done this process, okay, this is pretty much done already. So I put /new. And then you say new session started. Okay, model entropy clock Opus 4.5. Most of the time, you don't need to use such a powerful model. Okay, clock Opus 4.5 is a very good model and one of the SOTA state of the art. So you can change it. You can say /models. You put /models, it will show you different models. So you can say /models Alibaba. And it will tell you that there's a Qianwen Max 2026. Okay, if not, you can choose, you can show models, Kimi coding. So all these China models are definitely cheaper and more economic when you come to using them. 2.5, although these are the good models. But if I'm just being cheapskate, I can use /models. I will do OpenAI. Okay. /models OpenAI. All right, then it shows you all the different models. So I say, help me to switch to OpenAI GPT-5 Mini. Yeah, for most of the tasks, right, Mini is good enough. And this will equip your bot with GPT-5 level kind of intelligence. Okay, and then you go ahead and do it. All right, and I say done. Swap your model over to GPT-5 Mini. Now you are running on OpenAI linear machine. I say, okay lah, I'm less sophisticated. Okay, maybe you can't see because of my resolution. Okay, should be able to see pretty clearly now. Yeah. If you have any questions, you can leave them in the chat panel. All right, so, and you can see that the chat is synchronized from my Telegram over to here, right? Okay, so once you have done that, then you can ask it to do different sort of tasks for you. So here is the channels where you configure what services you want to connect, your messaging channel. I have connected to Telegram. You can also connect to WhatsApp. You just log out, okay? And you're showing QR code, and you just link it like normal how you link a device using your WhatsApp web. So if you have used WhatsApp for web before, you definitely are quite familiar with the process of scanning the QR code. And once you scan the QR, please also remember to click wait for scan, otherwise you'll go into infinite loop. Okay, there's something to remind you. So, and also, we are not very familiar with how WhatsApp operates. Except for those of us who are using WhatsApp business account, we know that there's a set of rules that we need to follow, how many times you can send, how many messages you can send, and within 24 hours, how much they charge you, etc. Or if you are using Wati, then you know what to do. But if you are using your personal account, please get a new number. Otherwise, you don't know when is Facebook Meta going to ban your WhatsApp account. And when it's banned, chances of getting them back are very slim lah. Okay, just from speaking from experience and also speaking from horror stories that we have heard before. And also, if you happen to go online and search for a lot of tutorials, their configuration is usually here. Is quite hard for me, even though I'm a technical guy, to go and actually look for what are the actual things that I want to configure here. So I will sometimes go into raw mode and also try to edit from here. To be fair, both are equally hard because if you mistakenly type something here, it will not work and you don't know what breaks it. It's better to just keep a copy, put it somewhere else, make sure that everything is well formatted. But the fun part to me, right? The fun part comes from making mistakes. The more mistakes I make, okay, the more I know, and because of version changes and things. So it's a hobby. Yeah, it's really a hobby, and it's not something that you will do it. You want to do it at work professionally because sometimes if you are not lucky, right, you might need to spend half an hour to 2 hours just to find that you forgot to type a comma, or you type an extra close quotation mark, quote unquote, that sort of things. But another tips that I can share with you is a lot of things you can find through Perplexity. So for example, how to add a skills to OpenClaw. Okay, then it will show you. A skill is actually just something here. You can look for them under the agents and the skills here. It supports a lot of skills. For example, the popular one is a weather. So I can actually go to my chatbot and say, how is the weather in PJ Selangor today? Actually, why am I asking the weather for today? I don't know. I want to know for tomorrow. All right, and here is some of the tutorials that teach you how to add the skills. But this one I consider, intermediate to advanced skill set. If you're just a beginner, just have fun. All right, and most of the skills here are pretty useful already, like Slack, creating skills, session log. Yeah, but if you see somebody use that very, how to say, they do some cool things from some YouTube videos, right? It's basically the skills that they added lah. Okay, and then if I go back, yeah, it'll take a while, depends on the model that you're using. They say, boss, petaling je, Selangor right now, 23 degrees Celsius. Okay, sure. Give me a 3-day forecast, please. Okay, so this is basically the OpenClaw. Okay, let me see if there's anything that I forgot to tell you. Not much lah. Instances, sessions, or this you don't have to do. And cron job is basically for you to create a schedule jobs that you repeatedly execute it at a fixed schedule. So for example, every morning 9 o'clock, give you a call. As long as you link it to the right service. Okay, I'm sure there's a call service and also voice call plugin. Yeah, so you can ask your bot to give you a morning call every day, right? Combining with a cron job, and logs is where you look for any errors and things like that. Okay, so pretty standard. Okay, but there are a few things that I would like to remind you. Number one, if you use OpenClaw, do use a VPS, a virtual private server, or a Mac Mini if you can afford, or you have a plan to dive into any sort of like N8N, automation, and also run your own models, because any sort of like the courses that we teach, AI engineering, AI automations, all these, you can use Mac Mini to run all those things, because they are free and open source, and it's just 2,499 ringgit. If you have a student card or you know somebody who has one, it will give you another further 400 something, 400 ringgit discount. Okay, so it's a good investment. And also try to use Telegram. Don't use WhatsApp or new WhatsApp number. Don't use your personal WhatsApp number. I can't afford to lose my WhatsApp number. All right, I can't afford to keep my phone number, and the phone cannot connect to WhatsApp. And last but not least, do not link API with credit card. There are some like Anthropic. Okay, sorry, terbalik. Console.entropy. So when you go to the billing side, it usually runs on credits. Okay, you have to top up. Like me, I'm cheapskate. Okay, I top up $10, $5 every time because I'm scared. Okay, and now you definitely don't want to turn on this one, especially if you are connected to things like CloudBot, because anything that is incorrectly done or somebody steal your API key, right? They will just spam it and use it, and you will wake up with $1,000 bill. All right, and also same goes to OpenAI. The one that I'm scared the most is AI Studio, because AI Studio is linked to your Google Cloud Console, which is tied to a credit card account. Okay, so that itself is something that is pretty scary in a way. So you don't want to do that. And there was once a KOL built an app in Google AI Studio, which is here, right? And then she shared it on the internet. I think it's that time where Nano Banana Pro first released. Everybody was using her app very happily, but never did she know that it's actually linked to her Google Cloud Console account, and then she was charged $1,000 over US dollar, and she got very upset, and then wrote some negative posts on Facebook, social media, and it got viral. I forgot how the story ended. I think some of the Google reps decided to give her some waiver or some discount. But yeah, long story short, all right, do not link your API with credit card. Always top up with credits. You can also look for some other services like Open Router, where you can pay with some credits and then try different models as well. It's entirely up to you. But for most of the tasks that we do, the model performance are, about the same. All right, so that's OpenClaw. Now for enterprise automation, OpenClaw is a big no-no. All right, do not use that, and do not quote Dr. Lau's name. Do not quote my name. And don't say, Dr. Lau teach you. You watch it from Dr. Lau's live. It's good and fun too. And the second tools that I would like to show you for productivity, for automation using AI, is Claude Cowork. Now it's not really automation per se, because and also there are two types. One is Cowork, one is code. I saw a lot of KOLs on IG or on LinkedIn. They mix up these two things. Okay, first thing first, Claude is just like ChatGPT. Okay, it's a service that runs on top of their own models, and they have two models. One is Opus, the other one is Sonnet. That one is Haiku, but the common one is Opus and Sonnet. And then that is the web version. They also have another two versions. One is the app version, okay, like the app that you are seeing here, and the other one is the terminal version. Okay, so time to be geeky and scary again. So if you go to Claude, right? So let's say you go to my and then see Claude. Okay, so you go to Typism. Okay, this is something that I vibe coded this afternoon. So it gives you a website like this, okay, that I vibe coded. Or you can also ask it to write program, let's say, write a Python program that lists down all the prime number from 1 to 100. Something like this, okay. If you're mathematicians, this might be something that's very useful for you, or I can show you another example also. Okay, so it writes a program for you, and then let me see if there's any questions. Okay, no. All right, then it says the program is saved as prime.py, and then you can say python primes.py, and it lists down all the prime numbers from 1 to 100. Or you can also ask it to process your files. Let's say, right? Let's see. I have this file called HR dataset.csv. Okay, it's just right here. All right, so you can ask Claude to do some data analytics for you. And if you're interested, we are running data analytics class this weekend. Okay, AI analytics class this weekend. Yeah, okay. So this is Claude running on the terminal. So I can say, try to read HR dataset.csv and analyze the dataset for me. Okay, and then you read the file and then analyze the dataset. And you say, okay, the file is too large, I cannot read. All right, never mind. Let's read the beginning to understand the structures, get more information about the dataset, and run some analysis. But you get the idea, you know, you get a feeling this is basically a command prompt terminal kind of stuff, and it just help you to write code. It can also help you to do some processing if you want to, and then you see, all right, it has written the code for you, and then it gives you some numerical statistics and blah blah blah. Okay, but it's very DOS, very hackish. So you can, like I said, it can also help you to vibe code. So if you're interested in learning vibe code, Claude Code, Anti-Gravity are the tools that help you to code your apps and your program. Okay, and yeah, you can do a lot of other things also. Like for example, never mind, I'll use this. Okay, then you will. It's also a thinking model. It can help to turn it into something that is quite comprehensive and visualizable. Okay, and it can also help you if you are data analytics, right? You can also say that help me to design a database schema. Okay. And then you can say that you will say that, okay, you need to assess the skills. And because it's a reasoning model, it's quite a smart model. So you actually ask you a couple of questions like, hey, is this for Postgres or is it for SQL? Okay, it's for Postgres. And I would say store and query this data set, normalizations, and submit answers. Okay, so after I answer the questions, it will go in and execute it. Okay, now I don't want to spend too much of your time waiting for the results because it doesn't really matter. Now I'm going to show you how to use Cowork. Okay, how to use Cowork. All right, Cowork is also something similar, but let's say, right, you drop a file here. Say, help me to analyze this data set. Okay, then here it helps me to design the schema with the SQL commands, everything here. Okay, very complete, very comprehensive. For those of you who did SQL before, you will definitely appreciate this because you know how hard is it to write an SQL command like this. And then here, it also does the same thing, all right? It say, okay, I can understand that this is a HR data set, and then what analysis you want me to focus on, just full overview, okay? Visual dashboard. See, this is very agentic, and I personally believe that this is going to be the future. That means you will be able to interact with your database, data sets, any of the systems just by using NLP, natural language, and just talk to it like you talk to any other agents, except the user interface are quite different. Okay, every user interface is different, but the core concept is the same. You're putting an agent on top of the systems, and there are different agents for different tasks. Some agents are good in orchestration, some agents are good in design, some agents are good in analyzing data, and so on and so forth. Okay, and now it's building all this. You just let it run. Okay, so this is Claude Cowork and Claude Code. Don't mix them up. Claude Code is the one that is in charge of writing codes. Coworks is in charge of helping you to do the things. For example, I have Hong Leong. Okay, I have a list of statements here because end of the year, right? We're doing closing, and I can ask it to help me to extract everything from my bank statement, from my Hong Leong statement, into a CSV file, and then I can ask it to separate them based on income, based on expenses, and you also automatically check the amount, the balance, debit, credit, all those things, whether they are tally or not. All this without me writing a single line of code, and that's what Cowork is about. Okay, you can also give Cowork some files, Cowork some pictures, ask it to analyze the pictures, help it to tag, find pictures that are not taken properly and stuff like that. But don't do too much because that's going to cost you a lot of tokens. If you want to do that, I'd rather you use a local model like Qianwen or DeepSeek, okay, to do that. And see, now I have done that. Yeah, all right, and then you can see view your HR dashboard. Yeah, and then yeah, it's created here for us. So you can see the difference here. This one is totally just to do work for us, and that if you use Claude Code, it's help us to write code. Cowork is really working as your colleague together side by side. All right, same engine but different use cases. Okay, so that is another type of, I wouldn't call it automation, but it's a productivity tools, and it's a significant productivity boost because traditionally, if I were to write a PDF extractor, it's going to take me a long while. And not being able to guarantee the success and the results or the output. All right. But in enterprise, we need more certainty and we need more control to actually turn our SOPs, turn our workflows, and turn our processes into something that the computer can execute with the help of AI. For example, okay, let's say we have 1,000 comments from Facebook, or we have 20 emails per day, inquiry. Now we need to be able to, number one, reply these emails automatically. Number two, route the emails to the right person. And number three, ideally help the person to reply the email, or at least draft a draft for reply, right? And that is when N8N comes in. For those of you who have attended my class or who have joined N8N workshop, masterclass before, you should be quite familiar with what I'm going to do next, which N8N is a workflow tool that help you to build workflows to orchestrate your processes. Okay, for example, let's do a very simple one. Okay, chatbot. So you can look at our chatbot, and our chatbot actually consists of a webhook, which is to notify this workflow that, hey, you have a message, ding dong, coming in, and then you pass the message to an AI agent that is again powered by OpenAI. And after that, it will pass it to a HTTP request to send a response or a reply to the person who have sent us the WhatsApp message. As simple as that. And inside our agent, what we did was to configure the agent to give it or equip it with as much knowledge as it should know about our company. For example, this is lead, who is lead, what is our training approaches, and do we do private class, public classes, and so on and so forth. So that it knows how to answer when there's an inquiry. Okay, this is one type of use case when we use a chat agent to help us to reply our customer inquiries. We can also look at other things, for example, image generation. Oftentimes when you are into marketing, right, you need to generate a lot of images, and you might want to try different images or generate 5-10 images for the same topic, or generate images at different angles. Now, if you use, let's say, Nano Banana app, you can't do that because you cannot just say, hey, generate 10 images for me, or here a list of topics. You can't really do that. If you use things like Manus, okay, it cannot be automated. Manus is another agentic AI tools. Okay, I know there are quite a lot of tools there, but the one that I'm showing you, or the one that I recommend using it, are the one that we use it and find it really useful. And so that's when you use tools like N8N. Yeah. So if you are an enterprise, you are corporates, you are looking for a consistent way, a more predictable way to help you to orchestrate your workflow, turn your SOPs into something that is digital version. Like for example, here we have summarized multiple PDF, and then basically you submit a PDF, and then it split the files and pass it to an AI agent called Mistral to extract the documents. And we also have something for HR, I believe. Yeah, AI HR filter. So these will help HR to go through resume automatically and then analyze it, extract the key informations like work experience, age, where they're coming from, their background, and then combine it, summarize it, and then yeah, give a rating, give a score between 1 to 10. Okay, so I think that's all I would like to share tonight, which is the AI automation solution for enterprises. Now, if you are looking for your corporates, you are looking for automations, you are looking for workflows, and to make your existing decisions process more streamlined, or you want to delegate most of the tasks to an AI, N8N is definitely the way to go because it's very easy to use and it's just drag and drop, right? There's no coding required. Yeah, just drag and drop. Of course, you can still use Claude Cowork, which is also pretty good, but still that is one-on-one. You can't really roll out to entire organization. You can't just install Cowork and say, okay, I'm going to replace 2 workers with these 2. No, but if you set up this workflow correctly, you can replace as many workers as you want, or at least replace as many tasks and as many processes as you want just by setting up the right workflow. Okay, it's totally different use case. All right, and Cloud Cowork is for you, mostly for individuals to do work for you. You can also use that to generate different things. Like for example, create a file and create a document. I would say article or blog post. Yeah, and then it can help you to do your work. Basically, co-work lah. Not really like your colleague, but it is somebody who works together with you, closer to you. Okay. And then last but not least, OpenClaw is very good for personal project. Yeah, weekend. I mean, for those of you who are in KL, tomorrow you still have another day to download, install, and play with OpenClaw. And then you just need to open up your Telegram, and it can help you to do a lot of things, right? Call this person, call that person, and yeah, do a lot of fun things. So, and just remember the 3 things: use BPS or Mac Mini, Telegram, and do not link your API with credit cards. All right. Thank you very much for tuning into my live, and then happy holiday. Enjoy the rest of your week. Have a great week ahead. And we do have a couple of previews, and also we have a new AI analytics class coming up. Yeah, stay tuned. And if you have any questions, you know how to look for me. Go to Lead and Facebook page or my LinkedIn, and then let's get connected. Ciao. Bye for now.